Welcome. I'm Danielle Sally.
And I'm Eva Fusaw.
And you're listening to Ghost Boss, stories about the freelance afterlife. Hey, ghosties.
Hey.
We're back.
Yes. And I'm fussy.
Yes.
I'm already mad. I don't like my hair. And I'm sticky because it's hot. So don't worry. You didn't miss anything, guys. You didn't miss anything at all.
Nothing has changed, Eva.
Hello. Hi. What's up?
So this is not just a catch up for our ghosties. It is truly a catch up with you and I too.
Yes. I've been in hiding. Don't worry. I'll tell y'all kind of what happened, but I can't overshare too much on the podcast. But yes, I've been in hiding. I've been in my house all summer. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So, Eva, I have to tell you this. I did not realize this about I did, but it took reading my horoscope to really, really kind of tune in to my feelings and my fears. Oh, well, I'll tell you. I read my horoscope one day and it said, you have a fear of intentionally being left out by your friends. And I sat there, I was like, I do have a fear of intentional. It's fine if it's accidental, but if it's intentional. So I get so hyper concerned if someone's not responding, like, what did I do? I did something wrong. Oh my God. So I will say I was kind of happy to find out you were ignoring the world.
I was just sick. Oh yeah, I wasn't talking to anybody. No. I had 300 missed text messages at one point. I had
my God,
50 Instagram messages. I still have Facebook messages I have not answered.
I
had a voicemail box full. I was talking to 3 people.
Sure. I would limit a lot.
Yeah. So, for those of y'all who don't know me personally, because if you know me personally, you probably have kind of gathered what's going on, but I was sick all summer. This is a wildly abbreviated version of what's been going on, but I'd had some symptoms that started back in November, and then they ran through May, and they weren't great, but I could work around them, and they were all over the place. I was getting headaches, and I was dizzy, and I was really tired, and I was nauseous, and then there's some other stuff that's I will overshare with you at dinner, but I'm not going to overshare with you on the podcast about that.
Wait.
Yeah. So anyways, I went to the doctor, and I've been going to the doctor on and off. And then in May, they were well, we think it might be this, we think it might be that. And the next steps are some medication and some surgery. And I wasn't sure that I wanted to do it. And then all of June, basically it got even worse. And then so by the beginning of July, I was I'm ready for 2025 solutions to 2025 illnesses. And I very much believe in modern medicine. I do, but I also have kind of a conservative approach to a lot of it. I just want to try, I don't want to jump to the most dramatic, solution for an ailment. If I can take care of it a little bit more conservatively, but I tried all the conservative things. And honestly too, I ignored a lot of symptoms for a while because I thought I was just really stressed out. And I was I'm a single mom and I'm running a business and I'm fine and I don't have time to get sick. This part is unrelated to ultimately what ended up happening, but I had my first mammogram back in the spring, and it came back questionable, and I had to have a follow-up mammogram, and it turned out fine. But normally, the first time a woman has a mammogram, if they call you back, women are really stressed out about it, and I totally get it. I've had cancer, not breast cancer, but I've had cancer, so I get it. But I remember walking into that second appointment, I was I do not have time to have cancer right now. It wasn't
well,
about.
At least you told the doctors that.
Literally, I was it's not about my mortality. It's not about anything. I was I do not have time to have cancer right now. If we could wait. And so I really was not as mindful about some of my symptoms, but then some of them it was outside of my control ultimately. So I slept most of the month of July. I slept 12 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I had surgery at the end of July, and so we're about 3 weeks out now. This will air a couple weeks later. So I'm finally on the up and up, but it was it's interesting, and this was something that I wanted to talk about on the podcast even before, like, I realized how sick I was. Um, Back at the beginning of, like, the summer, I had these big grandiose ideas of what I thought my summer was gonna be like, and this is before I realized I
Yeah.
was sick. And I was like, "I'm gonna do all this stuff, and it's gonna be great, and I'm having all this time, and I'm gonna relax." And then none of that happened. And,
Yeah.
like, and I'm talking, like, 2 weeks into summer, I felt this way. This is before I went to the doctor. So it only got worse, guys. But, I, actually ended up wanting to talk about this, and I thought about it at the time. I found this other podcast that talked about working moms and people just who work in general, not just working moms, and how we have this like big idea of what the summer is going to be like because summer has like all this exciting like energy around it. And then summer actually ends up harder than the rest of the year because it's
Yes.
more stuff to do with less structure. And everybody's posting their beach pictures and their lake pictures and their vacation photos and all this stuff,
Yes.
and you should be so excited and so happy that it's summer and you're not, and there's a significant amount of like emotional dissonance that's happening. And so before I realized that so much of what was happening in me was like physical stuff that was like outside of my control that I needed to like have treated, I also had this like big letdown feeling about the summer
Sure.
as it was starting. um
Yeah.
and so, I don't know, I kinda wanted to talk. I decided back in, like, June that I wanted to talk about that, but I really wanna talk about that now that I've spent a couple
We had to
months in.
wait. We
Yeah. But, yeah, I think I thought about that a lot. I was like, "You know what?" Like, when you're working, summer is just it's
It's
the
tough.
same stuff, but less structure. I don't
Yes.
know when people are working or not working, and there's summer Fridays, and that sounds great, and my kid's got camp, but then he doesn't have camp, and
Yeah.
but, like, I gotta get a beach vacation in here somewhere, or, like, he doesn't have a good childhood, and I'm
Right.
supposed to be posting cool pictures at the lake, and so right, like, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Not one, not one, not one. So, yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, like, how your summer was. It looked cool. It looked great.
Well,
But
yeah,
do you
because it's
ever feel that, like,
yes.
emotional dissonance?
Yes, absolutely. And I will say, this always goes back to social media being a highlight reel because of course
Yes.
everyone's
Yes.
only going to post their best summer photos. I
Correct.
think I only really posted when I was doing my trip, right? I didn't
Right.
post all the other stuff going on. And my summer last summer I remember talking about wanting to be intentionally slow so that I
Mhm.
could really enjoy it,
Uh-huh.
and I thought this summer would be that way,
Mhm.
and I picked up some new clients. I was very busy, and that paired with the whole summer just not having structure
Yeah.
was a struggle I was not prepared for. And this was
Yeah.
the first summer that normally my daughter is in camp the whole summer long. And this
Right.
is the first time she's been old enough, so sometimes she's at the house with me, some weeks we had something scheduled. So it was the
Right.
first one, it was like week by week was different, but I'm the
Yeah.
one that works from home, so I'm the
Sure.
one, no offense to my husband Will, but I'm the one that has to change my schedule up the most,
Right.
and so it's
Right.
just so much. But the thing that what's funny, when you said this, the whole conversation, it really resonated with me because I have this conversation with my nutrition coach a lot. And Jenny and I always talk about how everyone's vision of summer is this is when I'm going to lose the weight. This is when I'm going to get in shape because I have all this extra time. And her as a nutrition coach, she sees all the data and she's like, it's always the opposite
Mhm.
because people lose that structure.
Mhm.
So it's a harder time to think about what you're eating and making sure you're working out because you lose your routine. So I told her, I was like, as soon as school hits, I'm like, I'm back at it. I'm happy I maintained over the summer, but like, we're going now. But you said that, like, I feel like everyone struggles with that, especially more so parents, because we were so used to having that routine. And when you lose that routine, you
Mhm.
have to, it's just, you have to push so much harder to make sure you're getting everything done. And it just feels like so much more than during a
Yeah.
normal year.
It
It's a
really
struggle.
does. And this was my first summer with my son going to his dad every other week. This is my first summer
Yeah.
divorced.
Yeah.
Um, and I just assumed it would feel like a long weekend because he goes to his dad
Yeah.
every other weekend. And I
Sure.
know what that feels like, and that's fine. And I assumed I would feel like that, and I didn't. That was also really, really hard. And so it was a lot. It was a lot. And then my work slowed down. I had a big client pull their contract, not due to any issues with my work, but I had one of my
Right.
larger clients pull their contract back in like May. And so then I sent out a bunch of emails like letting people know that like, hey, the summer slows down and I'll have some time to work. And
Yeah.
I got some new work out of that, which was great. But
Awesome.
my work actually did slow down for the first time ever. Um since I started
I
my
will say,
business.
Eva, you have been steady, steady busy. So, yeah,
Yes,
you
yes,
probably
yes.
deserve the slowdown.
Well, but the interesting thing is like all this stuff happening, like having to like really stop so much of my life for my physical and my mental health. There was like some part of that too as well, like giving myself emotional space to do what I got to do and all that kind of and manage my expectations and all that kind of stuff. Um I was so frustrated because I was like, this was supposed to be like this great summer though, where I had all this
Yeah.
time to relax. But then also I was like, when else should this have happened? Like, it can't happen in the fall. I travel in the fall. I'm way busier in the fall. It can't really happen in the spring because, like, spring is like a hot version of the fall, right? Like,
Right.
can't happen during the holidays, right? I got like
Yeah.
2 weeks in January where I can maybe slow down. And so this was I mean, like, I still worked pretty steady over the summer, but it was much less than what I've done in the past, and while that is frustrating financially, so if you have any work,
Yes,
I'm
that
back.
part.
Um, it may have ended up a little bit of, like, a blessing as far as timing because I would not have been able to maintain my, like, normal workflow that is starting to ramp up now in the fall had I been going through all that medical stuff.
Yeah,
Um
that's fair.
yeah, yeah, and hadn't really I had had surgery since I started my business, but it was, like, right after I started my business when I was still married, and I had another person here to help, and I had another source
Yeah.
of income, and I had all that kinda stuff. So this is the first time that, like, I've had a real, like, medical situation, and I wasn't dying, guys, like, I know I'm being kind of vague and dramatic at the same time, but, like, I just don't think y'all wanna hear a whole lot about, like, oh, it ends up a lot,
Yeah.
but, uh I ended up like, this is the first time I've really been alone and had all this stuff going on, and it really, like, showed me how hard it is, and not that I didn't think it was hard, but, like, people keep telling me, like, "You need to get, like, disability insurance," and, like, I'm not, like, disabled now because of or anything like that, but I'm always like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah," in case I get hit by a car or whatever. Sure, sure, sure.
Sure.
But now I'm like, "Actually, I do,"
Yeah,
because, like,
maybe.
because while I was able to work, what if it was more serious? Or what if I did get hit by a car or, something like that? And
Right.
that is stuff you really have to think about when you're self-employed and a single parent. Not that it wasn't challenging when I was self-employed and married, but, like, it was a
Yeah.
much different ballgame. Like, I learned a lot of hard lessons this summer, and it sucked, and that should be my
Yeah.
social clip.
You
It
know
was
what? That will be
hot.
the only social club.
Yeah, it was hot, and I learned a lot of lessons, and they sucked, and I'm better for it.
Welcome back to Ghost Boss.
Welcome back, everybody. Eva is still Eva.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
still
we're doing great.
stressita.
I'm still stressita. I
Oh
was
my god.
stressita. I was sleepy ita. I was nauseous ita. I was headache ita. I was
So we'll just
drunk
add
ita.
"ita" at the
Yeah.
end of everything.
Oh, I was a grumposaurus rex there for a while. So, anyways, that's where
Yeah.
I've been. I've been in bed. I have no tan lines. I'm so mad. But
I honestly, I figured that would be your biggest issue
I don't give my
is
summer
that
tan
you don't
lines.
have tan lines,
I have
and
no
then I
tan
thought
lines.
about it. I was like, I kinda wanna go back and listen to our episode, our season finale from season 2 to see where we left off on things. I didn't, but I wish I did because 'cause I'm like, I'm pretty sure we talked about how you had a goal to, like, be in a bathing suit for a week, and I was like, I hope that
Yeah.
wasn't her only time in a
Yeah,
bathing suit.
it pretty much was. It really was. I
Uh,
went it was that first week, and then, like, once in July, like, somebody dragged me out, and in
yeah,
between my naps, I got to lay next to a pool. I bought right after that episode, I bought this, like, thing so that I could, like, put it over my laptop and I could work outside. Still in the box.
yeah.
Still in the box because I didn't leave my house.
We had so many grand plans for you.
My god, I had, like, trips planned that I had to cancel. I was
It
supposed
was,
to go
uh,
and do all this cool stuff and see these people, and I had to cancel, and I'm mad. It's fine. I
it's
guess my
fine.
health is more important than a
Well,
social
yes,
outing.
I will just say yes to that. It is.
This is stupid, but okay. All right.
Oh,
That was also
man.
my attitude the entire time. I was like, "This is dumb, but okay, I'll do it."
This is stupid. I don't wanna be here.
God, they had to when I had surgery, they came in and the anesthesiologist was talking to me, and he looked at the nurse and he was like, "She's gonna get 2 of the Versed," which is like, the medicine that, like, calms you down before you go back. He's like, "She's gonna get 2?" And then I was
Ah,
still yapping the whole way back. I was like, "I'm
oh my
nervous."
god.
They're like, "Give me a minute." And I was like, "Okay."
Just let it kick in. Just give it a minute, ma'am.
So anyways, so yeah, hi, I'm
Um,
still Eva. So we're doing
yeah,
great.
I'm glad I did not have the summer you had, but
And that sucked. It was awful. It's fine, which means next summer can only go up. My friend did tell me, she was like, next summer have zero expectations. She was like, you built it
that's
up too
fair.
high. You manifested too hard and then you get
Yeah,
nothing. So,
yeah.
so like
Honestly,
have
though,
zero expectations for next summer.
that's why
No.
sometimes I go on trips and I plan out how to get there, but when
Hmm.
I'm there, I won't sometimes I don't make the plans until I get there. I'm like, I have no expectations. Nothing can be ruined because
Yeah.
I'm just going to see what happens when I arrive. And you know what? There is a certain kind of bliss that comes along with that because you can't be disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. I have an appointment with my therapist later today, so this is all gonna dovetail
Oh, this
perfectly
is
in
like
with that.
pre-therapy.
Yeah, I mean, and also like something that I learned this summer is like, this expectation that I had, I really need to tamper down, not just with this summer, but in general. And so much of
Yeah,
that comes from like, I filed for divorce when I was 40. Not a great time to be re-entering the dating world or like restarting like, certain things in your life. And so
sure.
I think I got real fixated on like time for a little while. Like I'm losing time and I have to hurry up and do these things
I can see that.
because yeah, because I'm losing time and the summer was really just like a very intense microcosm of that. Um and honestly, that mindset is part of why some of the symptoms got as far as they did. I mean, ultimately, like, I would have needed all those interventions one way or another.
Yeah.
Um, and part of me was like, "But did it have to be like this?" And the reality is yes, because I'm stubborn. I mean, I just said, "I don't have time to have cancer, guys."
Yeah,
But
that should have been the red flag, that one.
well well, I still feel that way.
Well,
I'm like, "I don't
yeah.
really have time for this." Uh But yeah, so, like, I'm also trying to, like, adopt this mindset of, like, you know, I have plenty of time ahead of me. It's fine, and,
Yeah,
I gotta loosen up on some of these expectations around my
that's
social
fair.
life and yeah, my personal life and my professional life too. I'm like, "You know what? Like, you actually do the best work when you're just trying to, like, do what's in front of you and when you're not, like, fixated on, like, the larger plan."
Yeah,
Um, so
there were a
so yeah.
couple times over the summer that, like, there were some projects I needed to work on, and it just I was not feeling it. I was like, "Maybe if I switch gears to this thing over here, then
Yeah.
I'll get this one done," and it worked, but to go back to what you're saying, like, not really acknowledging your symptoms, I feel
Yeah.
like it's very relatable, and, like, especially what I deal with a lot now, I because I have had previous jobs where it caused a lot of stress for me,
Mhm.
that now I'm at a point that I could be very stressed, but I don't see it at the level of stress that I
Yeah.
have previously. so I don't really acknowledge that I'm stressed until
Yes.
later, and then it comes out in other ways, and I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh, I guess I have been stressed," but I don't acknowledge it because it doesn't seem as extreme as previously, and so now I'm, like, all messed up in the head
Right.
because, like, I don't realize I'm stressed until I show it physically somehow.
Well, and I mean, that's part of it. Like, part of it is that so many physical symptoms, especially like, and I'm anxious, right? So, like,
Yeah.
so many physical symptoms can mean a lot of stuff. And a long time ago, I broke up with Dr. Google, and everybody around me is thankful for that, that I've stopped Googling my symptoms. Because one
Yeah.
time when I was like 23, I'd come to the conclusion that either I was dehydrated or I had colon cancer, and there was no in between. There was zero in
No,
between.
and that's the
Um,
truth, though. It
yeah, yeah. Turned out to be neither, actually. If
Oh,
you know,
okay.
yeah, it turned out to be neither one of those things. But anyways, and so like when you're just really tired all the time, or you're a little dizzy sometimes, like you don't always think to put two and two together. But like
Yeah.
when I tell people now about, like, what's been going on, I was like, "Yeah," I was, like, nauseous, and they're like, "How nauseous?" I was like, "Every day," and they're like,
Oh,
"Every day?" I'm like, "Every day." And they're like, "Since
yeah.
when?" I was like, "November." They're like, "You were nauseous every day in November." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes it was real bad, and sometimes it was just a little bit, but yeah, I was nauseous every day for several months."
Uh,
And, like, it just and it's easy just to be like, "Oh, I drank too much coffee. I didn't eat enough lunch," right? Like, it's just
sure.
easy to write it off, and so, yeah, it's hard. And I mean, like, it took a little while for my doctor to kind of figure out. They had an idea of what was going
Yeah.
on, but they weren't positive. I mean, they were like, "We think it's mostly this, but it could be some other stuff going on." Um, so ultimately, it's all fine. Everything's
Well,
fine.
good.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Well,
Ish, sort
I
of.
will say, once I started seeing more posts on social media, and then I did see you went to the free times party.
I
So I was
went
like,
somewhere this
okay,
weekend. I went somewhere this weekend.
I feel like she's doing things. I feel like she's slowly emerging
Slowly,
back to herself.
slowly. I went to the free times party. I did not drink, and I went home at 10, and I was tired for 2 days after. So because
I so
we were
essentially
slowly
you've
getting
turned
back
into
into it.
me.
Yes, yes. We gonna get me back there, but we gonna, because like that's another thing. Like I so when I went to my surgery consult, I was like, "How long?" Because it was mostly laparoscopic, mostly, but like I don't have any big incisions, and so it's deceiving because I've had open surgery twice. I had a C-section, and then like when they took out my thyroid, I had like a big incision in my neck, and so it's easy to
Yeah,
remember then that like you've had surgery. So this is the
sure.
second time I've had a laparoscopic procedure where I have like tiny incisions, and one of them's in my belly button, and I can't even see it. Like, allegedly,
Yeah.
this man cut into my belly button. I'm not entirely sure he did because I can't see it. Um, and so I was like, "How long am I down for?" And he asked what I did for work, and I was like, "Well, I work for myself. I'm a graphic designer, and I work from home." And so he's like, "Oh, Monday." And so, like, in my mind, I interpreted that as, like, I could go back to
Fair.
my life on Monday.
Yeah.
I scheduled a tattoo appointment for, like, a little more than a week after I had surgery because they told me I would be fine by Monday. And then I got to Monday, and I was like, "I'm
Why
not
did your
fine."
head go there first?
I got a
What?
story on it. I got a story on it in a second. Hold on. I will come back to the tattoo. It'll come right back to it.
Ah,
It gets a little sad, but it's fine. Um,
okay.
because I thought I was gonna be fine on Monday, and then I was not fine
Yeah.
on Monday, and then I talked to the nurse, and because like I slept a lot on Tuesday, and she was like, "He meant like you could go back to work on Monday because you sit at a desk at your house. Like you
Yeah.
can't you can't go to the gym, like you can't do any of that until you get cleared," which my follow-up appointment's tomorrow. So it's been a little bit more than 3 weeks. So I'll probably get cleared for everything tomorrow. Um,
Okay.
yes, but yeah, it's deceiving sometimes. Do you want the
Yeah, I
tattoo
can see
story?
that.
It's a
Yeah,
little
I need the tattoo story. I
it
need
gets
to
a
know
little
why you're like,
sad.
"Oh, I gotta go right to the tattoo now."
It gets a little it gets a little sad and not a little sad at the same time. Okay, so, without God, I'm being so vague about this, but whatever. So,
It's okay.
for the surgery that I had to have that was to fix some symptoms that I had to have, the most effective surgical option means that I won't be able to have children anymore.
Mm,
And I always wanted 2 kids. It was always, like, incredibly important to me to have 2 kids, and,
sure.
I don't have 2 kids, I only have 1. And I knew that the surgery was possible, but that would be, like, part of it. And the first time they kinda really talked to me about it was a couple years ago when I first filed for divorce, and I wasn't really sure then what my life was gonna look like and what I wanted, and I was like, "Well, there's a
Right.
chance that I might still have another kid." And, now I'm 2 years out, like, I'm almost a year past being divorced now, and, I'm not having any more kids, it's just a reality of a timeline, it doesn't make sense for me and my family and my son, and so, um, I was really sad about that, like, I was really sad
Yeah.
about that, and I honestly would have had the surgery sooner had that not been part of the equation, and it's a truth, but it's, like, a really hard truth, but it is a truth. And, so when I was a little afraid when I woke up from surgery, I was gonna have a lot of regret. I did not, which is good.
Good.
I don't
Yeah.
regret my decision. This is what's right for me. It doesn't mean that I won't adopt a child. It doesn't mean I won't be part of a blended family, or maybe it's just meant to be me and my son, and that's okay too.
Sure.
And so a couple of days, I was really in my feels about it in the days leading up to the surgery, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the tattoo shop that I go to, one of the artists there was doing, some birth flower flash tattoos, and she's booking them, like, all year, and they're really pretty. And I saw them and I was like, "Oh, those are really pretty. I wonder if I should get one. I don't know." And then she, like, had posted, like, she'll do custom ones of up to 3 flowers. And it was, like, 2 days before the surgery, and I decided I'm gonna get a tattoo of my birth month flower and my son's birth month flower, like, intertwined
Yeah.
as, like, a
I love
little,
it.
like, just me and him, right? Like,
Yeah.
um and so I went to book it, and they had an appointment the next week, and I thought I was cleared to go live my life the next week.
Okay. Okay.
You see? You
Fair.
see? It's not as
Fair.
crazy
Fair.
now. It's not as crazy now.
No?
And so I book it. So I book it, and I have surgery, and then I actually ended up back in the hospital on Saturday because I was really dizzy. Like, even when I laid down, I was incredibly dizzy, and so I called the nurse, and she's like, "Go get checked out," and so I go to the hospital. I end up
Oh my
fine.
god.
I end up
Yeah.
fine, but, like, I messaged the tattoo shop, like, from the ER, like, "I don't think I'm gonna make it for my appointment."
'Cause priorities.
Right. I just need to let them know. I'm like, "Hold on." Like, I
Yeah.
waited for them to get the IV line in before,
That's fair. Good. As you should,
right?
Eva. That's
Right?
what you should do.
I was like, "I'm not." I was like, "I'm insane. Why did I do that?" And
Yeah.
then so then, like, my friend who's done most of my work, and she's like, I've known her for years. She lives around the corner from me and stuff. And, she's like, owns the shop, and she messaged me. She was like, "Hey, I saw you're on the books and then not on the books, and it says you're sick. Are you okay?" I was like, "Oh my god." So I, like, info dumped on her.
Oh,
So anyways, yeah,
well,
so
good. No,
yeah,
that was a good
so
story. It was worth it.
yeah, yeah, well,
Speaking of which,
yeah.
I every time I get my hair done, my
Mhm,
hairdresser asks me, "When are you
mhm.
getting that tattoo?" Every time, and I
I
told
know.
her, "We're waiting until after we get through the summer," but she said she was like I told her, I was like, "Well, I'm recording the podcast tomorrow." I could just put her on the spot and say, "Are we still doing this?" So my
Yeah,
hairdresser, more than anyone, JP wants to know, Eva,
JP
are
wants to
we
know.
still on for a
Yeah,
ghost tattoo?
we'll do it in the fall. I thought of you when I booked this flash because that's the thing when if you are unfamiliar in the tattoo world, flash means that they pre-draw it and you get to pick
Yeah,
from, like, whatever it is. Sometimes if you walk into a shop and pick something off a wall, that's called flash, but, like, in this modern era, half the time they just put it on Instagram. They're like, "Pick a flash." So
sure.
flash tattoos are much easier to get in. Um because it's pre-drawn, right? So I thought of
Yeah.
you and I was like, I owe her a tattoo. And I was like, but I have a sad story, so I can go get
Yeah,
my
but this
tattoo.
is priority. No,
Yes,
it was priority,
it is
just so you
priority.
know.
Yes. But yeah, when Shannon reopens her books, I'm going to Carly for my birth flower tattoos. But when
Awesome.
Shannon reopens her books, probably sometime in this fall. We'll do it sometime in the fall or the
There
winter.
we
So
go.
yes, I
There
will
we
get
go.
it back sorted
Okay,
out.
I'll make
Yeah.
sure that JP listens to this. this
Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
so she can get all her answers.
Give her my number if she needs, and also,
I
like,
will.
yeah, just be like, Eva was having a moment, and Eva was not doing great, and,
Uh,
so she was not focused on her tattoos, and then all of a sudden she was hyper focused on a tattoo, so we'll get her back on track.
well, I did tell her, I was like, "We're not interested in the summer tattoo. We don't want to stay out of water." And then the irony,
Well,
that
but
you
that's the
were
thing,
forced
though.
to stay out of water.
I was forced to stay out of water, and that was another reason I was like, "I should go ahead and get this tattoo because then the healing period's probably
Yeah,
gonna line
that's
up for when
fair,
then I'm
right?
cleared for surgery," but, like, now I'm getting it after Labor Day, like, it's fine, it's fine, I'm gonna have to draw my tan lines on is what Imma have to do.
You could
It's
get
fine.
those tattooed on.
Well, I'm not gonna do that, I meant just, like, with some self-tanner, I was just gonna paint them like a normal person.
That's fair. You can do
Is
that.
it? It's fine, it's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah,
it's fine.
do and make sure, I mean, you went to the YG, make sure you get stickers and tan line some sticker art
With
onto your skin as
a
well.
little bunny on my belly, right?
There you go.
I did go to
I
the
mean,
Y2K
go
party.
all in.
That's why my hair's still kinda straight. I straightened my hair, yesterday because I went to a
Yeah.
Y2K party over the weekend, and then I tried to do it again today. I will not do it tomorrow. I now remember why I stopped doing this because 'cause I'm so annoyed. It's
But why
I'm
why
so
are you
annoyed.
annoyed? But, like, you just
It
don't want it.
takes
It
it
does take a while.
takes it takes a while, and for me, a
Yeah.
while is 4 minutes, but that's too long. I know, I know. It takes 4 minutes, and it doesn't stay because my hair is not straight. That's why I
Yeah.
don't like it, because it doesn't stay, because my hair's not straight.
Right?
That's why I'm mad. So,
That's fair.
anyways, it's fine. It's fine.
And it's very, we live in a place that's very humid. It's very tough to keep your hair straight here.
Well, I think part of why I was able to do it, like, yesterday it was straight because I just washed my hair and like,
Yeah.
blow dried it straight, and I used to wash my hair every single day, so I could dry it
Mm,
straight I don't wash my hair every day now. I bathe
no.
every day. I feel like I have to clarify that because I said this once to a man, and he was very confused. I was like, "I bathe every day, I just don't wash my hair every day. Calm
My
down.
husband's
I'm
probably
clean."
gonna well, I'd say he's gonna listen to this. I don't think he ever listens, but he'd, if he did listen, he'd be like, "I wish Danielle did."
You don't bathe
I
every
don't
day?
no, I mean, if I'm at the house a lot,
Out
which I
yourself, if you
am,
will.
Eva,
You don't
he he has to leave every day, and he comes home smelling like tires, and, like, he might have me twice a day, where I'm just here living my best life, so
Okay,
it's
it's
fine.
fine.
Well, you're a Pisces, you have to be in water. I, like,
I mean,
truly, I
I
do, I wish I enjoyed showering as much as some people. It
oh,
is a
yeah.
chore for me, I don't enjoy
Oh,
it.
oh.
I and, like, the whole, my hair has always been thick, and so, like, the whole process of having to dry, so I'll try not to wash it, but oh no, it's, I get mad thinking about it, Eva. I do shower, for the record.
Okay. I mean, I sometimes shower twice a day. I often shower in the
Oh
morning and
god,
take a
no.
bath at night. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of why I
No.
had to stop washing my hair, well, my hair is I was washing, like, if you don't wash your hair every day, you know about this, right? You have to, like, train your hair to not wash it every day so it's not as oily, but, like, ultimately, it often ends up healthier this way or whatever. But I
Yeah,
used to dye my hair. This is how I realized I needed to stop washing my hair every day,
yeah,
sometimes twice a day, because, like I said, I shower once or twice a day.
wild.
I used to wash my hair every single time and dry it
That's
every single time.
insane.
Right? And so, like, I would, like, pay to get my hair colored, and I, like, used to do, like, fun colors, like big chunky red
Yeah.
stripes, and it was a vibe. I thought I was doing something. Anyways, and one time I went back to my stylist and I was like, "I just feel like it fades so fast." And red fades really, really fast in
Yeah.
general. But she's like, "Well, it's made to, last," I think she said 20 washes or something like that. And I was like, "Well, that's just like 2 weeks." And she goes, "Huh?" And I was like, 20 washes is like 2 weeks. And she goes, "What?" I was
She's
like,
like, "The math's not
"The math's
mathing."
not math." She goes, "Hold up." She goes, "Hold up. There's 14 days." I was like, "Right." And I wash my hair once to twice a day. She goes, "You do what?" She was like, "How much money do you spend on shampoo?" I was like, "Well, this is why I have to buy it at the Target, not here, because I can't afford this. I can't afford
No.
this once or twice a day." It was a revelatory moment for me,
Oh
with
my
my hair.
goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's wild.
anyways, well, just
Well,
like
we've
yeah,
learned
we're
things about each other now.
well, we're all over the place.
All right, everyone. Well, we hope you've enjoyed
Hey,
catching up with us almost live. I mean, this
yeah,
truly was, again, this was not just a Ghost Boss catch up. This was literally a catch up with Eva and Danielle.
she hasn't seen me since Pittsburgh,
No,
like 2
I
months
did
ago.
think, I was like, should we try? I had a little moment of panic this week. I'm like, should we try and get coffee before
No,
and actually get to know each other again? Or I was like,
no.
nah,
First
let's
off,
just record it.
no. I want to record it. Number one, but number two, no, because I'm still like
No.
I'm getting better every day and like everything, but like I am still like ramping
Yeah.
back up. So like I was tired from going out on
Yeah.
Saturday. Side note about Saturday, I went to eat dinner beforehand and I went to the Dragon Room and it was delightful, but I'd ordered these like tuna taco things and I forgot that two came in an order and I wanted two tacos. So I ordered two orders and I ended up with four tacos and then I
Oh
didn't know
no.
what to do. And I felt like an alien. I was like, I feel like so weird because I haven't been out in so long and now I have four tacos and I look like a lunatic and I don't know what to do. And I'm sitting like at the bar so everybody can see me. It was so weird. Anyways, proceed.
How do I follow that? Well, I'll tell you.
Welcome back, guys.
Ah,
Ugh.
so what season 3 we're doing things not well, if you're listening to this, you're like, you're not doing anything differently, but we
No,
will
eh,
eventually.
maybe I'll let you. Well, we are because we are doing video. The whole. Did we already
Yes,
say that?
that is nope, but you just did, and that is the
Hey.
exciting thing, is that if you listen to this normally on your podcast app, you can also now go find the full video version on YouTube. We are on YouTube already, but we have never done a full video episode. So I'm excited that we're gonna start having Eva's grunting because Eva knows it falls on her to do the
Yes.
video.
Danielle's excited. I have to edit it, which is fine. We
Yeah,
need to have
it's fine.
equitable division of labor in this relationship. It's fine. But she said she drafted a content calendar, and I was like, "Can you let me make sure I can do this before we book guests? Can we just
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
give me a little
I
bit of
got
time?"
I got too ambitious,
You
and
got
she said,
excited.
"Danielle, you're being too ambitious again. You gotta calm down a
Yeah,
little bit."
yeah,
So
yeah.
we did have 3 guests last year, and we are going
Yes.
to still tackle a minimum of 3,
We'll have
maybe
more.
4. Who knows?
I
Who
just
knows? We'll
we
see what
had it
happens.
we had it on the docket for like the second episode, and I was like, "No, stop it."
Yeah,
No, or
no,
the third. It was like
all fair
really
point.
early, and I was like, "I love your enthusiasm." And I think I said, I was like, "We could talk about it tomorrow if you'd like, but
Yep.
I am not ready for a third person yet. Can I get a handle on two? And then we'll go from there." So,
Uh, we are also going to switch to a bi-weekly, twice a month, every other week. Well,
semi
I never
semi
know how that works.
it's like what isn't it like semi-annual the
Sim,
semi-annual
I
this was a whole thing
I
in
have no
journalism
idea.
school. The
Yeah,
semi-annual
you tell me.
it's biannual. It's a whole thing. I don't know. We gonna be doing it every other week, guys. We
It's
should say it
every
like
other
that.
week is what
Every
we're trying to point out.
every fortnight. There you go. Every
Yeah,
fortnight we will publish. Just
I'm all for
clarify.
it. It's going to be fun. No.
Yeah. So we're gonna try that out, especially since we're doing video editing. We'll see. We'll see. I may get really good at editing this, and maybe we can turn them back out once a week. But
Yeah.
we're gonna start at every other week and get a handle on
Yeah,
it,
and you
and
all
then go
have the
from there.
opportunity to tell us if you like it or not. And we sometimes listen and sometimes we don't like your advice, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll see what you want.
You can tell me, I just don't know that I'm gonna do it, but sure, tell
I
me. It's
mean,
fine.
I think they
It's
know
fine.
if they listen to the podcast.
So yeah, and then we're gonna talk. We have some topics that we already have slated.
Yep.
I read them yesterday, and that was a long time ago in my brain. I know one episode I want to do is about AI and how AI is not going to take my job because it doesn't know what to do with fingers. So like I'm not worried
Yeah.
about it, but
It's until it can
um
figure out hands, I think we're safe,
I'm
and
not worried
we'll
about it.
talk about that.
Well, and it's interesting. I use some AI tools as part of my brainstorm process. I'm not going to talk about it here
Yeah.
because I want to talk about it in the episode.
Yep.
And it's really, really funny about how I am not concerned at all about AI
No,
taking my job. So we'll unpack
I
that.
agree.
Um, or do you remember some other of the topics that
Yeah, so
we had slated?
some other topics that we're going to talk about are some freelance myths and talking
Yeah.
about busting those myths, and
Busting
we're also going to
myths.
bring busted. And we're also going to bring back the freelance horror stories. And
Oh,
I
I got those.
realize that it's just September when you're hearing this, but we're already in spooky season for some of us, and we want you to go ahead and share those
Yeah.
freelance or just job career horror stories. You don't
Yeah.
need to be a freelancer. That's just
No.
what we are. But go
Yeah.
ahead and share your horror stories, and that will be on our annual. We can say annual now because this is season 3 annual Halloween episode on
Thank
October
you
28th.
for waiting until we do it twice to call it annual because nothing irritates me more than seeing first annual because that's not a thing. It has to happen more than twice for it to be an annual event. First annual
Yeah.
is not a thing. And if you want to correct your client, it needs to be called inaugural because it's the first
Ooh,
one.
that's
And if they
that is
and,
true.
and if they want to fight with you, you have to tell them this is a little trick. Be like, what if this event is so popular that you end up doing it more than once a year and now you can't call it
Ooh,
annual? So why don't we do
there you go.
inaugural, see how it goes? Because first annual is not a thing. Sorry.
Okay, I think I hit a button.
It's not a thing, guys. It's not a thing. Go ahead.
I love when we learn little pet peeves with each other.
It's not a
Ah,
thing. Even the robots
I
know it's
love
not a
it.
thing. Okay, proceed. So yeah, so we're gonna do working freelance horror stories. So if we've always got some,
Yep,
but if you've got some, go ahead and send those in because we'll record that for October.
yep.
Um, yeah. Anything else we're gonna talk
Awesome.
about? Other
No,
stuff.
that's it.
No, that's it. 2 episodes. That's all we got.
Mostly just you and I rambling back and forth.
I've always got something to talk about. I'm getting back out and about in the world. So
It's
I'll
gonna be a
always have something to
time.
say. Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna keep straightening my hair for it. This was a lot, and it's disappointing.
That's okay. You better
It's
come back
alright.
curly next episode.
Okay, I will. I will. So
All right. Well, it's good to be back, and it's good to see your face, Eva.
yay! I can't see your face because when we record, my camera is off camera, so I hear you,
Oh,
and I'm
fair.
talking to a reflection of my face, so I it's also good to see my face. My lipstick looks
There you
real
go.
good today.
I look wonderful.
I look great. I assume you look
Ah,
good too. I'll find out when I download this video.
I love it.
Mm-mm. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember to follow us on Instagram at Ghost Boss Podcast, and also please like and review us on your favorite podcast app.